All right, let's get right into it. If you're like a lot of us and you're using AI to draft reports, summarize research, or, create any kind of content, there's this hidden risk that you absolutely need to know about. It's called an AI hallucination, and it can seriously, seriously damage your professional credibility. So today we're going to break down exactly what they are, why they happen, and most importantly, how you can catch them before they become a real problem. So imagine you ask an AI for some data and it spits back a sentence that sounds just like this. It looks perfect, right? It's specific, professional, completely believable. You'd probably think, awesome, a solid citation I can use. But here's the catch. That study, it doesn't exist. It's a complete fabrication, just confidently presented as if it were a solid fact. This right here is the exact problem we're tackling today. So what exactly is an AI hallucination? Well, to put it simply, it's when an AI just makes stuff up. It's not lying like a person would. It doesn't have intent. It's just producing an answer that looks and sounds right, but is factually wrong. It could be an invented statistic, a fake quote, or a source that was never published. And this isn't some rare glitch. It's a known fundamental behavior of these large language models. Okay, so if you want to protect yourself from this, you first have to understand why it even happens. And it's not just a simple bug in the code. It actually goes right to the core of how these AI systems are designed to work in the first place. Here is the one thing you really need to get. An AI is a pattern matching machine, not a fact-checking machine. Just think of it like a super eager intern who has read literally everything on the internet. They are brilliant, just brilliant, at making things sound correct and professional. But they have zero real-world understanding and no ability to actually verify if what they're saying is true. Their only goal is to predict the next word in a sentence that's most likely to fit the pattern. It's about sounding plausible, not being accurate. So what are the specific triggers here? Well, first, the AI's knowledge is stuck in the past. It's limited to whatever data it was trained on, which can be old or just incomplete. Second, as we just said, its main job is to create something that sounds good, not necessarily something that's true. Third, these models are actually designed to sound confident, even when they're basically just guessing. And finally, and this is a big one, there is no guaranteed built-in fact checker. That job, well, that's on you. Okay, so AI makes mistakes. Big deal, right? Well, yeah, it's a huge deal, especially for professionals, because these aren't just tiny typos. They can have serious, real-world consequences that could impact your career and your company's entire reputation. And these risks are not theoretical. We've actually seen lawyers face sanctions from a judge because they submitted legal briefs that contained completely made-up case citations from an AI. I mean, can you imagine standing in court and citing a legal precedent that just doesn't exist? The professional fallout from that is just enormous. And it's happening in the academic world too. Students and researchers trying to be efficient have used AI to generate bibliographies, only to realize later that the sources listed were completely invented. This kind of thing completely undermines the foundation of academic integrity. It can lead to papers being retracted and, frankly, reputations being ruined. And this is where it really hits home for a lot of us. Think about a business report. It's full of charts, data, it looks perfectly polished. But what if the numbers are just made up? What if the market trends it's describing are totally unsupported claims? You could end up making critical business decisions based on pure fiction, all because that slick, AI-generated report wasn't properly verified. So how do we fight back? This isn't about throwing these powerful tools away. No way. It's about learning to use them responsibly. And that means you have to put a rigorous, human-led verification process in place. This is your playbook. These 4 steps are your best defense. Number 1, verify every single claim. If the AI gives you a source, a study, a book, Google it. If you can't find it easily, you have to assume it's fake. Number 2, ask for evidence. Push the AI to show its work. And then you check that work. 3, cross-check the key details, names, dates, statistics, with sources you already know and trust. And finally, number 4, it's a good idea to use tools that have built-in citations, but never ever trust them blindly. You guessed it, you still have to check those citations yourself. Okay, so before you ever share, publish, or submit anything that an AI helped you create, you've got to run it through one last non-negotiable filter. Think of this as the final line of defense for your entire professional reputation.
So run through these questions. Be honest with yourself. Did I personally verify the key facts? Do these sources the AI gave me actually exist? Are these numbers pulled from a real data set? Have I double-checked all the names, the dates, the quotes? And maybe the most important one, have I read this thing with a critical eye? Or did I just skim it because it looked good? This checklist right here can save you from a major, major headache.
All of this points to a really fundamental shift in how we need to be thinking about these tools. If we want to use AI safely and effectively, we have to put it in its proper place in our workflow. And here it is. This is probably the single most important takeaway from our whole discussion. AI is a fantastic first draft machine. I mean, it's incredible. Use it to brainstorm, to get over writer's block, to structure your thoughts, to explore new ideas. But it is not a fact machine. The final check, the verification, the accountability for what you publish, that still rests entirely with you, the human in the loop. So as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with the one question that really cuts through all the noise. The next time before you hit send on that email or submit that report or publish that article, just look at the content one last time and ask yourself this simple question. Would you stake your professional reputation on it? If the answer is anything less than a confident, absolute yes, then you've probably still got some work to do.